Page 59, two moods. Merrily we roll along. Actually, it's Merrily we roll along, and it's done in two moods or two styles. At the top, they're pointing out the dotted half note, which you already had, and a dotted quarter note, which is new. But if you understand how the dot works, it doesn't matter. It's not a mystery. So keep in mind that in 4/4 time, a dotted half note is 3 quarter notes, right? It's 3 of whatever the higher value is, or the lower, whichever direction you're going. The dot gets half of the value of the note, all right? So if a half note gets 2 quarter notes, a dot gets 1, that's 3. Well, a quarter note gets 1 beat, so the dot's going to get a half a beat. That's the same as an eighth note, so it's 1.5 beats. So a dotted quarter note is the same as 3 eighth notes tied together. Have we not had dotted quarter notes? Take a look at the first measure there. Just the right hand. Both hands are doing it, just the right hand. You have a 1 and 2 and. See, it comes in on the and of 2. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. If I count, the 1 and, those are eighth notes. Eighth note, eighth note, eighth note, eighth note, eighth note. So there's 3 eighth notes in that dotted quarter note. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1. So don't make it hard. It's not hard. It's really not hard. If you're really confused, there's probably plenty of videos on YouTube that tries to explain it. I'm sure it can be quite an adventure on your part to go look them up. Take a look at the bottom of this, the last line. They have, in that last measure, a DC al fine. Now they're explaining to you what it is. I like to keep it simple. DC means go back to the beginning. All right, this is in Italian. Just forget the Italian for a moment. When you see a DC al fine, DC means go back to the beginning. All right, and you don't have to worry. That's all the time. That's exactly. That's written in stone. That's the way it is. There's no reverse repeat sign to deal with. All right, you go back to the beginning. Al fine means go to fine. Fine, pronounced fine. Right. The fine is at the end of the second line. So what we're going to do is play all 4 lines, then go back to the beginning and play the first 2 lines again. That's really all it is. So now, with a repeat sign, you go back to the beginning unless there's a reverse repeat sign, right? And then you go to that. Well, here, DC is always the beginning. If they had a sign they wanted you to go back to instead of the beginning, it would be a DS al fine, and I'm sure they'll introduce that eventually. So it's different. So DC and DS are 2 different things. DC, the beginning. Can't stress that enough. I just get tired of it, and you get tired of hearing it. Now, this is really not hard. They're giving you, technically it's a major and a minor. We haven't talked majors and minors yet. Minor is generally considered a sadder type thing, or more mysterious type feel. It's the kind of emotions it emits or you get from listening to it. I don't know. It doesn't have to be that way. It's up to you how you react to it. But the first 2 lines is major. It's C major, the same we've always played. And the bottom 2 lines happens to be in C minor, which we haven't had yet. They put in the accidentals for you. It's the flat signs. So in this piece, it simply means you're going to have an E flat stuck in there. It's the only real difference in a C position. The only difference between major and minor is that third, the middle one goes down a half step. So you get this. So instead of this chord, you get this chord. And that's the feel, that's the sound of it. They're suggesting that you change the tempo or change the speed. At the first of this, it says Merrily, so you have type thing. And then the 3rd line down, they're saying sad and slow. Because it's different. So you'd play the 3rd and 4th lines at that speed, and then when you do the DC, go back to the beginning, you're fast again. However, I gotta screw that up, don't you think? When we play it together with a metronome, I can't change the speed, so we're just going to play the whole thing slow because the idea is I need you to hear the notes so you can make sure you're playing the same notes I'm playing at the same time. You can do the merrily and the sad and slow on your own. So go ahead and put your hands in C position. I'll give us 4 counts and we'll play it together slowly. 1, 2, ready, go. 1 and 2. 3 and 4 and 4 and rest. Rest.